We're just going to give it a second until I see. Okay, here we are. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, goblins and ghouls, Minecrafters, and Redstoners of all ages. I'm Natanis, Likens, and by now you know the shtick. Yeah, so I had an idea, because I was thinking about this while I was at lunch, and I think I know what we need to do here. The question is, how do I go about it? Okay. So if I do that, we would need to take the thing here. Put it into that block. We don't need this, because that's just going to, it's not going to work. We're still going to get like a double pulse there. So this is going to go here. No, whoops. Actually, give me that. So that goes there. This goes here. And we still need to be able to put a block there. Okay. It is going to have to be the way that I was thinking. I don't know why that's all clicking. Oops. This will make sense here in a second. But I do need to see. We don't need that. Is that signal going to go far enough? We do need this. We don't need the piston right now. Let's just do a wooden shovel. That's all we need. At least I think that's what we need. We still got one minor little thing to figure out, but I think I've figured that out. So that's all this. Yeah, okay, so that is going to activate that. Okay. So and then I need oh wait. Well, yeah, because that needs to go back that way. That should be fine. Right? Yeah, because this is not actually where that's supposed to go. Those are all supposed to go that direction. This whole line is not right. So that should send those all that way. Oh wait, no. Because this is Okay. So if we do it there, it should be fine. Here, let's just do this real quick. Okay. That was never the intent. We're gonna have to use more hoppers here than I was planning on doing. That's because I miscalculated the room that I needed. So now we got a problem here. This is no longer viable. I thought I had this figured out at lunch, but I definitely screwed up. So we need a layer here. So while this signal is on, that needs to be on. When there is no signal, that tells us that it's empty. And so the items need to go directly down. Okay, we just need to do a quick test here. Where did I put that? And so when that's off, that should click, sending the the shovel over there, and then it should go back in. Should. Right now, this should be going down there. Because we haven't finished this circuit that shuts off that torch yet. I'm sorry, did you not? What? I'm sorry, why are you not going over there? Okay. So we're having a connection issue there. So, got too many of these stupid things now. Well, I thought I had this all figured out. Hang on. So if I put this here, can I take a signal from there? No. Okay. So I can do that. So what I want to see happen, we gotta do a little test thing real quick. Actually, let's use that one. Okay. More testing. This has 4 in it. Okay, this is turning that off and on. That's exactly what I wanted. Oh, missed it wrong. And it should just pulse. So while that is all off, let's see, can we... I think we've got... Oh, I can't... I'm not making it in time. So... Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's try this again. It's still not... And that's what I was worried about right there. That's exactly what I was worried about. Well, if I do, if I put, so here's the problem. If I put this back to what the way it was with a hopper going there, yeah, if I put it with the hopper going that way on this row here, and I put a torch here, it's going to turn both of them off. If I put a block here that is constantly powered, it'll be the same as having a redstone source there. It's still going to turn off both of these spots. So the only other thing I could possibly do, yeah, I can't turn this off without turning that off. And I have to have a split here somewhere for the shulker box to go to where it's supposed to. Oh, I feel like we're so close to it now, but I'm still missing. I'm an idiot. And if you see it, uh, say you see it in the comments. Why did I just say that I'm an idiot? Because I see what's wrong now. I see how to fix it. Can you guess? We don't need a block there. That's what it is. We do not need a block there. Okay. So now the question is, how do I power this? Will it work this way? No. Will not work that way either. Yeah, we're not getting a signal there. That's not going to work either. Okay, so right now it's off. This would need to be on. And if I do this trick here, this is in the wrong place. And that's going to try and pull it up. So we need to send the signal down to here. No, we can't do that. And this is the wrong direction. I think that's going to get knocked off. Because this changes, doesn't it? Oh, it doesn't. But, okay, so that is a problem. Okay, that ain't gonna work. The only reason I wanted to do that is because we got a time limit on the signal before the one set of repeaters tries to push another shulker box. I don't want to use a bunch of repeaters. And see, this is pushing too far. What I want to do here is turn the signal on and off. Yeah, this would not be in the right place. So that would be the easiest solution, but we got a problem in how do we get the signal back to where it should belong. And see, that's the wrong order. If I do any kind of funky shapes here too, we like doing this. Yeah, so we can't do that. Okay, so we're getting bud powered. Great. And then that's going to be too low. Well, we can't do that. But yeah, that's too low now. Great. So that's part of that circuit. This is... Honestly, I really did think that I had this figured out. Okay, so we need this signal to be inverted. Let's get rid of that. Let's just put a layer of glass down here just because. So no, that ain't gonna work. So here's this. We only, hang on. Let's put that there. And see, this is what you go through when you're like trying to figure out something. Okay, why is this here? Why didn't it get pushed back across? What? Is it getting bud powered? Why aren't you pushing? Okay, we need to get this back to being on before we do anything there. So we have a 3-block gap we can do something with. And that's it. If I put a piston, it's not going to work. If I put a piston there, it's going to extend past where we want the power to come from. We want this to already be on. No, that's going to crush it. That's not what we want. And I can't move this. The only thing I can move is the redstone block. But we've kind of built ourselves into a little bit of a corner here. I've already had enough of the quasi-connectivity stuff. That's so annoying. And isn't that a bug anyway? A bug that they just never fixed? Okay, so how do we get that to be always on? And then when this goes off, it turns this off. I know if we do that, there's only one way to really bring a signal down. Yeah, that's not going to be far enough away. We could put it there, but then we got a problem. And the problem here is we got the opposite issue here. Actually, well, once that goes down, like how much? We got 3 of the 4. And now this didn't fire? Okay. Let's... We're getting quasi-connectivity here, and it's driving me crazy. There's no reason for that. None whatsoever. All right. Give me the dropper back. That's positively driving me crazy. This is becoming a lot bigger than I ever intended. Like we've definitely gotten a lot wider. But we're trying to troubleshoot a few issues here. We also gotta fix this. Did it not? What? Okay, and now we're back to that not going off. So that lit up. It just lit up the one. But this piston didn't fire. Why didn't this piston fire? What is happening? Why didn't the piston fire? Okay, I don't know why that line's on now. Okay, yeah, I do. What? Because we... Okay. Screw both of you. Lights off. Are we getting, like, what is happening here? What in the world is going on? Like, why... That we shouldn't be getting a cross signal there. We've got nothing that should be doing that. We've got a gap there. I don't understand, like, why it's doing that. It's like right now it's trying my patience. And I got a feeling this is going to cause a problem. Hang on, is the fourth one going over here? It's hard to tell with all this. Really? If I really need another one, we can grab it. Okay. So does this need a little bit extra time? I don't know how much we had there originally. Okay, so yeah, that's still, that's not working. Okay, that's another problem with their design. There's no way they are getting that to work because so the moment the shulker box is put down, it should start sucking out items. However, that speed means that if I set this with any delay here, okay, it means that this hopper here, this one, is not going to be getting the items. The items are going to go down and then flow across because this they're going to go into this hopper and then they're going to flow that way because this is still off. We cannot make the signal go any faster than it's going here. Even though I've got more stuff going on here, the amount of redstone is still about the same. So there's no way to delay that signal or increase the speed of that signal. You cannot make a signal go faster. So we cannot turn off and on this hopper fast enough to work with this method. Yeah, this whole method here, garbage. It's not going to work. And even what I'm looking at with their build, it's the same problem. In fact, they don't even have anything to turn off the hoppers. So what I was seeing earlier is when that piston fires, here we can show this. Let's turn that off. So when this breaks the shulker box, it's going to go into this one. They have nothing to shut off this hopper. They do have a block right here that's underneath it to shut it off. But the problem is, either way, it's going to go into that hopper. Even if I like try to do it this way, here we'll do that. We'll simulate it being off. It's still there. That's because this one here. Now I will say that theirs is actually backwards of mine, and that this row here is what's pushing it that way. But I mean, I don't know. Let's get rid of all these. And let's change this. Yeah, we still can't do that because the redstone's going this way. That's the one thing we got in common is the direction of the redstone. So even if I change where this is at, let's say the shulker boxes are coming here. Oh, I can't get in there from here. I will say that we have to change all of that. So now that's where that's going to, and then so right now, because there is nothing here. So we've actually got the wrong thing turned off right now. They've got this one turned off, but I don't see any way of doing that. I don't think this is going to fix anything. But let's go ahead and try this. So now we've actually got like 3 or 4 of them turned off. The only thing I could do here is do this trick. So they're going straight into those barrels, and that should stop the signal from going and shutting off those. The only thing we're trying to shut off is this. And hopefully the shulker box goes that way. So this now needs to be changed to exactly the same thing here. We need another one of these guys so that we can get in there. Now this is part of the reason why I don't like this, what I see in this, because this is just absolutely a nightmare to deal with. Okay, so as long as that torch is on, this block is retracted, turning off those. So any items currently so that is turned off right now when there's nothing there. Or no, that's open. So this is incorrect now that I think about it. So yeah, we got 2 of them in here. There's one stuck in here, and that shulker box probably has one still in it. It is not empty. So this is not right either. Do we need like a double? So that would power that off. Okay. this one. Okay, so now we got to fix this part because this is driving me crazy. There's no reason why that should get double powered. Okay, yeah, so that's not getting powered. That's on. And then it's not getting powered there again. Okay. So why isn't this working? What? Why did that just click? That shouldn't be getting powered. What? It's not firing. Okay, why aren't you pushing it in there? What? We can't take a signal from you though, can we? We can take a signal from that, but it didn't turn back on. Okay. Okay, that's not gonna work. Okay, that did activate that. Let's try this again. Well, that's going to fire that. Anytime this changes that, no, that's not going to work either. So what I want to see happen is I want to see that get turned on. Okay. Is that all we needed to do was just move that over one block? Let's find out. Okay, so where'd the shulker go? The shulker ended up there. So this is empty right now. No, that signal needs to be reversed. Yeah, so the shulkers are going here. That's not what we want. So I need that shulker to be turned off. Or not that shulker. I need that to be turned. I think we just got the signal in the wrong. See, Redstone engineering, so fun, isn't it? Aren't you guys having fun? I mean, we're sitting here, we're learning, if you can call this learning. We're trying to do something, and it is, like, absolutely kicking my butt. Not for any other reason than it's just being stubborn, trying to figure out, like, which direction we need this to go. Okay, so right now that is empty. So we're gonna put this shulker here. And that should activate all that. And as soon as it's empty, we'll get another shulker in here with two. Okay, hang on. Let's get all those out of our inventory again. Put that in there. That should go, and that should have... No, that's turning that off right now. This is backwards. This is not what we need. No, that that was exactly what we needed. It needs to be the redstone. That hopper needs to be turned off while there is nothing there. The problem is, where is the... And we're back. Okay, so right now it is empty. That is exactly what we want. That shouldn't push any items, and it shouldn't take any items either. Okay. We need this. That piston is firing way too quick. But I literally don't think there's anything we can do about it. Is this, yeah. I mean, I don't know where the shoulder's going, but it is here and it's still got 2 in it. Okay. It shouldn't have 2. Yeah, these both have 2 for whatever reason. That doesn't even begin to make sense to me. So once that's empty, what we need to have happen is that needs to open. And as you can see, that is just going straight into there. We got a major timing issue. Okay. That redstone is off because there's nothing there. Okay. So that activates, redstone goes here, that activates, turning this off, allowing that to process. If we put any kind of delay here, let's change this to being blocks. And the whole reason for that is to try and reduce the amount of delay we have in the redstone. Oh. Did that work? It's down there. Why did that work? Hang on. See, it's over here now. So that's off. What? Why? So you tell me that this entire circuit is useless? Like, I've been trying to shut that off so that the shulker boxes do not go there. But are you seriously telling me it doesn't matter? Why did it change? What just happened? Let's empty that and empty this. What? Why did this suddenly change? When I was testing this before, this hopper was automatically taking in the shulker box. The second it broke, that hopper was claiming the shulker box. And now you're telling me I don't even need the circuit to prevent that? Why? What? I, d- I'm, I am so confused right now. I'm so aggravated too because I've been like getting flustered with that for a couple hours now. And you're telling me I don't even need the circuit that I thought was absolutely necessary. Okay, this whole section here is not necessary. Where's my... Yeah, so there's our 8 bits and pieces. Okay, we got one last thing to figure out. And what I'm thinking here is we... Ew. Yeah, okay, I can't get out that way. We're gonna have to do it this way. Run a signal here. To block here. How did I do that? Like, literally, I was aiming for a different block. Well, that ain't gonna work. Yeah. Shush. No. Okay, perfect. Now, I do have one little question about this. So that's our input for our now, do I need not class base? My question is, do I need, is it going to get stuck there, or can we have just one system for all this? Because what I'm thinking is, like, ignore the chest here, because this is supposed to be like every 9 blocks it's repeatable, so this is stackable, but it's got to be 9 blocks because you got to restart the water chain. What I mean by that is down here. Like every 9 blocks, you've got to stop the water and then start it again. And actually, the water will stop right there. Like I can remove, well, I can remove that, and you can see that the water's going to stop right there. And voila. The thing that I saw, like a lot of them doing, it was just bogus things. Like there's no reason for the stuff they were doing. In fact, you could do, just drop that there. This isn't important. These chests are just kind of here. Same for this glass. It doesn't really need to be here, except for maybe like a slice indicator. So let's there is one minor problem. I did that just as a test to see if those are all firing. And that's just gonna let me know. Okay, so we did get some stuck there. There's literally nothing I can do about that. Though, if the system works the way it should, I don't know why you would need anything more than this, or why they made such a ridiculous mechanism to begin with. Yeah, you shouldn't be blinking. And we clearly broke it just now. I don't understand why it broke. Each one of these should be its own slice. It shouldn't have any quasi-connectivity to another one. See, why is it doing that? We just did a thorough test of it. Why is it doing that? My guess is this is triggering that, which is causing that to fire. That is my guess. Yeah, see, it broke it again. For no flipping reason. This down here is also making me mad because this right here, that shouldn't be happening. This should only register when that goes up to 7, or when it goes up to 8, and for some stupid reason, okay, I can't do that section there. Yeah, for some stupid reason, this is all breaking now. So why are you breaking this time? What is actually happening? That should only happen if this gets triggered. Well, we can't have this always on. We already found that this causes problems for these. And why? What? Okay, so if that dropper is activated, it's not going to let the it's not going to let that go. It didn't even get all of them. This triggered far too soon. Well, I think this is going to break it too. I think that's going to cause a similar issue. Yeah. See, this is off. But it's not letting the signal go through. See, all this is working fine. Yeah, this is suddenly working fine down here. As if nothing was ever wrong. And you can see that we are decompacting all of that iron. So why did this mechanism suddenly stop working correctly? This should it okay, see now the problem is that this is just going on and off, on and off, on and off. That's not what we want. That should only ever no. It's hard to tell right now because it's still emptying that shulker. You know what? This is why. Because we changed this. Well, no, that's not behaving correctly. So once that deactivates, that should turn this line on, which is going to cause a pulse here. But once that line turns off, it's going to cause a pulse again. We're back to the whole problem of on-off creates a pulse. This is literally going to create the same exact problem. Why was it working earlier? If it's the exact same problem. Okay. This is not going to work for us. We can't use observers anywhere else. Because regardless, okay, so if this turns on, that's going to turn this on. So that's going to pulse. When this turns off, that's going to pulse. The only time we want it to turn on is when that torch turns on. And we're going to get a double pulse regardless. So let's... Man, I could have sworn I had all this figured out. Okay. It's fine. We just got to figure this out. Because I've done a lot of different things with these. And the problem that we have right now is that this is going to pulse no matter what we do. If it's on, if it's off, this is going to pulse. So we can demonstrate that. Let's just use a slime block on it. So if this turns on, that's going to pulse. If this turns off, that's going to pulse. On, pulse, off, pulse. Yeah, I don't know if that was actually done. No, it wasn't done. Okay. And this still didn't spit out another shulker. We've still got that problem happening. That's a problem I don't even know how to fix. Why is it not? We're literally giving this block power and you're not turning on? Why? What? Oh, that shouldn't be there. Look here. Can I break this? I'm surprised that didn't break anything just then. See, that's full. This should be on. I'm wondering. And that's why I was saying we need to be able to filter and shut off the system so that a shulker can't end up down here. But clearly that's still an issue. This one doesn't even have anything in it. That shouldn't even be on. And see, we got another shulker. So clearly up here somewhere something's not working correctly. Yeah, okay, so this is all jacked up here. Because this is just blinking on and off, on and off, on and off. And this is what I wanted to figure out here, because we got this issue going on. Now, this is what I'm thinking. The only way to power those on and off is if it powers on and then off. I really want to wait for this to all empty out. See, why isn't this one firing? And that one's filling up. Why isn't it firing? I don't see any more shulkers getting into it, so that tells me that we're not accidentally firing off shulkers for no stupid reason. But then this isn't going. Okay, now it is. That's a lot of clicking. There's no way you're gonna make this silent. It's just not possible. And see, look at this. Why isn't this firing? Like, what? Though there's no reason those shouldn't be shooting items out. There's literally no reason. And yet clearly you can see that we've only got 2 shooting. All of those should be shooting, not building up. I don't want those. Yeah, this just further makes me believe that the whole idea of a shulker box unloader and decompressor is absolutely stupid. Like, again, just looking at what they've built, I see so many problems just trying to follow the logic of the redstone, and there's parts of it that doesn't even make any sense. Like, here, I'll give you an example. Like another example, we did this earlier. So they have no. So they have a bit of redstone that is lined up just like that. And actually, you know what? That is going straight through the block. That it shouldn't do that. Because if I do this, it blocks it. That is why. That doesn't even make sense. Okay. Um yeah, there's a whole portion of it that does that, and I'm like, that the redstone shouldn't even go through that. But there's bits and pieces of it that just don't make any sense. For instance, there's also a bit where there is a tripwire hook. I don't know what the tripwire hook's for. It's just there. I don't. This doesn't make any sense to me. Why is this not firing? See, this one's firing now. This one still isn't. Okay, see, that one's firing now. This one's firing for some stupid reason. And this one is not. Yeah, I don't think your redstone idea for this is going to work. Because this is why I build my own things. Because we've got some really weird quasi-connectivities going on for no stupid reason. Oh, look, we got another shulker in there. And see, this isn't firing. Why? How? It shouldn't even be doing that. See, this is at 8, and it's not going. For some reason, that didn't turn on. And we just had a bit of lag there. Yeah, look at the frame rate I'm getting. It is, like, very quickly dropping. And this is what you think will save your world from redstone lag? And theirs is much more complicated. Like, way more complicated. Like, this is absolutely stupid. There's literally no reason for you to do this. Unfortunately, I've got no way to turn this off either. It's just gonna run until it runs out. Like, look, that is deactivated. All of those are deactivated. We're still... We've still got, like, a ton of... The only thing I can think of to actually make this work, and I was thinking about this previously too, is to have, like, you can't stack it. Because, I mean, redstone just does weird things. Like, there's a reason I don't stack redstone. I don't know how there's anything in there still. You shouldn't have anything. Yeah, I don't see this as a viable machine that you should have at all. I mean, yes, my version does have some flaws that we're still ironing out, but I just started working on this. Like, I did an initial, like, how would we decompress it thing and make it smaller. And we did just that. We made it smaller. We got a similar problem going on down here. Let's see, why is this one not going? I mean, I already know, like, how we fix this. And it's very simple. We're finally out. Yeah, that shouldn't even be on. So how would I fix this? It's easy, split it. Like, have, like, take one layer of it and then build it out from there. Like, you'd have to separate all this, separate it into each individual, like, section, because we're getting way too many quasi connections here. And I'm not even sure that that's the right term, but it's like when the stuff is not connecting properly. Okay, we still got this problem to deal with. Yeah, man, what happened to my frame rate? All right, hang on one second. Let's turn off the capture card for a second. Oh, that's because the audio is still on. Okay. We're just gonna refresh Minecraft. Doobie doobie doo. Yeah, the only way I can think of to fix that issue is to completely uh, tear it apart, like make one section at a time. You cannot have a stackable uh, decompressor. It's just not going to work. But if we have it like individual layers and then like do some fancy shenanigans there, it should work just fine. Though it is going to have to be separated quite a bit, so we're only going to get, because of the way water mechanics work, we're only going to get here, let's just get rid of that. So 1, 2, 3. We'd have to have it there. Yeah, you could only do 3 layers per 8 blocks, or per 9 blocks, because in order to have like these hoppers here, we have to change out the hoppers in every other location. So technically, maybe you could get away with golly, man, we are lagging hard now. That didn't even help. So you could go like that, and then this is where you'd have your sign to block the water. So there'd be no water push here, and then you could go here and do the next one here. Yeah, we're having a hard time right now for some reason. I thought that was gonna refresh it, but no, that's... Oh, you guys can't see that. Genius. Absolute genius. Okay, let's try that again. So you go here, 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 and then you'd have to skip these 2 and do there. So you can only get like 4 layers in at a time. We're still not quite done with this, but let's go ahead. Wow, this is just... Why did this become such... Like, if I get away from this, is the frame rate going to come back up? Oh, wow. So, which... No, that's crazy. Okay, so my frame rate is not nearly as bad as what you guys are seeing. I don't know what to tell you there. Oh, wow. Okay. No. Jeez. Like, it's literally on... I don't even know where that problem be coming from. Holy mackerel. I hate this. I don't even know what's actually eating up that. Because it looks like Steam right now is just killing us. Which that doesn't make any sense. This laptop is not that old. We should not be having any problems. Is awaiting a response. Hang on. I don't know what response somebody's sending me. I don't even know who this is. Yeah, I don't know who you are, buddy. No idea who that is. Trying to figure out a different problem right this second. Here, tell you what. We got to get off for a little while anyway before we do Terraria tonight. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to restart my computer. And I will see you guys back here in a couple hours. So, yeah, we'll get back to that at a later date because, yeah, decompression circuit, no. It's just that what I'm looking at there, that's just not going to work. Like, even if I understood exactly what's going on this particular image, I'm finding so many issues that it's just not going to work properly. And just the few circuits that I'm able to replicate and I understand what they do, I saw firsthand that they weren't working the way that I would think that they should. Like, for instance, the whole breaking the shulker box and where the shulker box should go. It wasn't doing that. And we were actually seeing like 3 different outcomes with the shulker box. So what they've got going, I know won't work. And then it's got other problems where it's shutting off the hopper that's feeding, I guess, a dropper into a hopper, and that's where the block is. It is right next to two hoppers. So if you're shutting off one hopper, you're shutting off the other one. So if there's any items in there that need to be sorted down and decompressed, it's getting stuck. So and it's getting stuck twice. It's no. Like, even if your timing's slightly off, it's not going to work right. Anyway, I will see you guys later. Be good, and remember, I am